Yeah, coffee time. just want to stick my hand in wood longer. As I told the ladies, I know. They wanted to cut my balls off on Sunday morning and hold them in church as a prayer device. The Protestant church wanted to cut my genitals off and sell me old ladies to hold as prayer symbols to worship male fertility. As I started castrating and cutting off dick and balls of people that didn't fit in town and holding them in church, I prayed for me to hold my severed dick and balls in their Protestant churches and sing hymns as they have my severed dick and balls in a jar inside and embalm me to it. Then they would install these jars of severed dick and balls on the prayer wall. Oh, hey, I miss Francis, but we don't know yet. I'm glad he gave his first sermon in Latin, his first mass in Latin. That's a good sign. Pope Leo the 14th may clean up the church. We'll see. He's young. My dad says they're interviewing his brother on TV. Oh, I just think of the Catholic Church coming after me now. They're really coming after me. But the Protestants want to do horrible things to me. They want to bake me in an oven and serve me for supper to a bunch of their tribe of naked children. They have a bunch of naked children, about 10 or 12 naked little children run around the yard, and they had to feed them something. So they capture adult Catholic like me, and they bake it in the oven, and their tribe naked children just tear into it with their bare hands to cook meat. They like to tuck me in on my nappy. You know, they like to play with my diaper a lot. The halfway house I was at, that gave me an assumption. I had to get to the point where I wore diapers. Dave Hubster made me wear diapers to high school, and he gave me a butcher knife to flash it in the freshman's face and tell him, put on the diaper and wet it or I'll slash your face. That's what he forced me to do. He told me to hold freshmen and 8th graders at a knife point and tell them get in a diaper and take pictures for Dave Hubster, or he would send me to the institution where I would have a lobotomy. I had to take pictures for him, Keith, and Mike. Pictures of younger males than me and diapers and stuff, and wetting them in their shitty diapers, bring them home so they can sniff them and bite on them. I had to cut the dirty diapers by knife point at the end of the day. That's what they put me up to. And all that goes to the root of your head, and when you have to wear diapers, you're reminded of the time of what you're forced to do. They're collecting diaper and scat videos at that mental health center. Then when they went and they couldn't recruit high school kids, got too low for them. They placed Dave Hubster's son at the middle school. Then finally they get busted, and it's all middle school kids because Dave Hubster retired and went somewhere else that had his son go to the middle school, and he recruited middle school kids at the health center. And there was a couple psychiatrists and nurse practitioners were busted for abusing the shitload of middle schoolers. They haven't even touched the iceberg at Sart Hills and the health centers down in Sart, Indiana. With those few they busted. I don't feel safe here in Indiana. It feels sick. I feel ill. Every time I was doing so well mentally in Florida, and all of a sudden I come back here, and it's like I feel the devil around me. But down in Florida, I felt God for the most part, and now I feel sick. Like there's this evil around me. I squat as I squat and take a shit. Those prunes sure did help. Hey, Joey. Yeah, I'll pull an all-nighter. No, I'm not going to sleep. I'm not going to sleep. I'm awake. You still there, Joey? I'm awake. I want to pull an all-nighter. Is he catch me dying? I'm just having flashbacks. I need someone to talk to. I'll just start cutting myself, I guess. That's the only other way. Do some surgeries on myself. It's hard being alone when I have these flashbacks. It's all because they're sphincters and the Christians that take a shit in my mouth and are tried a naked 18-month-olds all into 9-year-olds wanting to eat me alive. They start nibbling on my genitals, they start biting into my flesh and eating me alive. And that's what the Christian parents teach, and they run like they're feral and they run in the woods. I need someone to talk to. My phone don't even work. obviously a natural. He's one watching. Joey, you there? I want to talk to you, buddy. Joey, I want to talk to somebody. Want people. Joey, you in here? I don't want to sit up all night alone. I'm tired of being alone. I received my first ass whipping. Joey, you in here? I take my medicine. Joey, you in here? Joey, you in here? I'm just having a panic attack, Joey. Hey Joey, you in here? Who's all in here? Awesome, I'm having a panic attack. Let's have a cigarette together. Drop off. Okay. Just have one. Just have one because I need one. Have my flashbacks. Sure, I'll do an all-nighter with you. How's that sound? I'll do an all-nighter with you. How's that sound? We do an all-nighter. All right. Just flashbacks of the town that sent packs and tribes of naked children to eat me alive. They'd let them loose, they'd drop me in the woods, and see those Protestants would have their children go 18 months of age, and they would let them loose in the woods. And they'd grow feral, and they'd drop off like non-believers or disabled people, and allow those naked small children to eat them alive. They became cannibals out in the woods. As part of a experiment done by a local Baptist church on cannibalism and feralism, funded by our taxpayer dollars, from the state of Indiana, how to get rid of useless eaters. They have a lot of ways of getting rid of us useless eaters in our state. There's crematoriums licensed all over the state that cremate day and night. There's ashes falling on the ground, and they just cremate the bodies of so-called useless eaters day and night here in the state of Indiana. You have them dying in hospitals, group homes, nursing homes, and they're taking all these crematoriums throughout the state. You have foster children that are abused to the point of death, and they're just taking these massive crematoriums and they burn day and night. I'm just having flashbacks, Joey. I need someone to talk to. Out breath, too. I know. I'm having a panic attack tonight, Joey. And I can't find my S20 and it won't recharge. So you can't call my dad. I wish. He's looking out for me. He knows how marginalized I am being LGBTQ, mentally ill and stuff, and in the Catholic Church, and he's watching over me. And and I hope Leo the 14th does something to help me. I hope he does stuff to help the sacraments get people like me that are disabled. I'm gonna call the Papal Nuncio in Washington D.C. and tell him what's going on in my diocese. Yeah, I'm gonna call when he appoints a new head of what the Papal Nuncio. That's the Vatican. That's the Vatican. That's Latin for Vatican. Vatican. Embassy. Yeah, I noticed he prays in Latin, and all these Protestants are in my room taking care of me. Were talking bad about Pope Leo XIV, saying he was speaking Italian. That stupid Italian. No, he was speaking Latin. These Protestants come on. The only reason I don't say nothing is they take such good care of me, but they talk shit right in front of me about the faith I love so much. Here I am, a faithful Catholic, but they know I fear losing care, so they talk shit about Catholics in the Catholic Church, saying that our Pope's the Antichrist, that we worship the Pope, that we speak stupid languages, and I just get told, hey, if you don't like it, you just lose care. Ain't that religious discrimination? Can't they be sued and charged with religious discrimination? But no, not in the state of Indiana. It's all Protestants. They all can talk shit about us Catholics right in front of us, and we lose care, and I'm paying $2 extra in the back as someone to talk shit about my religion, and I just had to sit there and keep my mouth shut or lose care. I joke around, but I say we Catholics don't burn Protestants anymore to them. I say, well, I just tell the priest, dear preacher, kindly that I couldn't go to his service because it'd be a mortal sin. And then I say, well, the door's open. I say, I can come the after event and maybe a Bible study and say that we taught the same thing to them. I tell the Protestants I can come to their Bible studies and show them where we Catholics believe in Christ, and we believe practically the same thing they do. It's just that we're the original Mother Church, and I hate it when people can think they can sit in front of me and call my Pope horrible things they don't know anything about. You know what I mean? We don't worship him, it's a deep respect. We pray for our Pope, and we have a deep respect. We don't worship him. It is a deep found respect for the papacy. Kind of like us as patriotic Americans should have a deep respect for the office of the presidency, or have a deep respect for our country. Well, our church, we're like that. We're a universal church, so we're all brothers and sisters worldwide in the Universal Catholic Church. And I don't like it when people want to look at my OnlyFans but call the Pope the one of the whole guy's supposed to be holy a pedo. But want to stare at OnlyFans and jerk off porn all day, but automatically accuse the Pope of being up here when they just want to see my OnlyFans and they have a porn addiction. But then they automatically say, oh, the Pope's this and that, or all Catholic priests and this and that, when they're the ones staring at porn all day long. You know what Jesus say? Let the last with the one without sin cast the first stone. I'm not perfect. I can't judge Francis for some of the things I disagree with. I just know he was somebody I had to respect. And I don't have delusions about him, but he is somebody that I'll pray for the soul of. because he had some clerical ideas that may not have been too kosher in the Catholic Church, I'm going to pray for his soul. You know, and God says if he knows someone's going to pray for someone's soul, they'll stick him in purgatory. I have a feeling Pope Francis is in purgatory. We need to pray for him. Because he did do a lot with the poor. And he believed in Christ and taught about Christ. It's just Vatican politics why he did certain things he did. I need to get a cutout, hopefully I'll put it next to Francis. I turn back on my oxygen. What are you doing right now, Joey? I know. I'll start doing videos of my rants like sometime. How's that? I'll do 30, 40-minute long YouTube videos. Or subscribe to my OnlyFans. Those are rants sometimes. They're not all dirty. When I went offline about this afternoon, I did an adult themed OnlyFans. We'll watch a little bit of adult videos. That's because one of my paid customers requested it. And I got to. He paid $5 a month. He's expecting to see that. But other than that, I may just rant. It's for a lot of people who just want to see my hermit rants. It's a platform where I can make money and people can listen to deep and serious rants, you know, the exclusive rants. I'm kind of using it as an easy setup thing where if somebody's in my home, even just chilling and streaming live, they can be verified as 18 and over. You know what I mean? In case we start getting high and fooling around. You know, that's why I like that side, because anyone that's on stream with me has to be 18 and over. And they have to verify their ID, and so we can, you know, anyone's on there, if say we're smoking reefer or whatever, and we get the funny tunes, you know, and everyone that enters my home, I'd want to be I mean, if I'm going to do adult things, someone be on a stream, I want to verify they're 18. You know what I mean? I just set that my goal because, you know, people, I had like my caretaker, and she'd have, you know, her family were around, people that's what scuffed came up these bad words about me, and all they were doing was walking around. Her 17-year-old daughter was just like courting me. I mean, we were just hanging out, being friends, you know, and stuff like that. And then when she turned 18, we were going to see about dating, but that never worked out. And when she had her boyfriend, I took care of her. You know what I mean? In which they thought she was pregnant. I mean, all I did was bought her a pregnancy test, delivered to where her boyfriend were, just to make sure they're prepared in case it came back pregnant. And people were saying horrible things out of act of charity. You know, what's worse? A girl that's autistic and 17 being pregnant, not knowing, or someone that had 10 extra bucks by the pregnancy test so the family can get prepared earlier on who will help her take care of the baby if she would have been pregnant. You know what I mean? And I didn't like the idea of birth control. I tried to talk her mom out of it. You know, being Catholic, you don't use birth control. So I tried talking, and that's what I don't like about my Protestant caretaker is her 15-year-old granddaughter. She talked, you know, that grandmother talks so holy about people, yet she knows her 15-year-old granddaughter is actually sexually active with her boyfriend. Yeah, they come on, sit on my stream. She'd bring them over. One of them was 19. That was Tubbs. That was an old caretaker son, and then she had a 17-year-old daughter I helped out. And she already had a boyfriend. But because I bought her a pregnancy test, because she confessed to her mother she'd been fooling around, was active with her boyfriend without using protection, and they thought she was pregnant. I bought her a pregnancy test, and people called me the worst things ever. I just wanted the family to be ready, just in case. You know, I mean, she was autistic, and if you didn't want a kid in foster care, you had to be prepared as a family to know who's going to help her take care of that baby. I mean, everything outplanned. But this Protestant lady will sit there and demean my Catholic Church, while at the same time, her 15-year-old daughter is sexually active, and she wants birth control. And that's the first slide of any civilization, was the Protestants allowing birth control. Well, no, I just no, my private caretakers do. It's just that it was an old caretaker. The old caretaker that was with a different agency. They love me. In fact, Tyler just DM'd me on. I had him on TikTok and everything, and Tyler, her daughter's boyfriend or ex. I don't know if they're married or not yet, but he DM'd me a while back on Discord. We still try to stay in contact. We're like family. It's just that I would help them out so much to the point where I was helping her take care of her kids because she was that bad off. She was living in a hotel down the street, a cheap motel. That's all she could afford. And I was buying them extra groceries, and people were still saying awful things. But the Lord Jesus says, if you do the right thing, He will persecute you, and they'll call evil good and good evil, in the last days. And I just, and these Protestants, knowing their granddaughter's sexually active, will have birth control so she can continue doing it and not having the responsibility. Why don't we believe in birth control as Catholics? Because we don't want these young girls, we believe they won't go out and be promiscuous if they know they're going to have a baby, a responsibility. If promiscuous sex comes with responsibility, then they would do it less, because we condemn abortion and all that. And we believe life's at conception. So if you block that conception from happening, you're still committing murder. But they bitch about abortion even for little girls that are raped by their grandfather, right? I believe there should be an exception when say some little girl's raped by her grandfather and is pregnant. I go against Catholic and Protestants, but the Protestants are more vocal about aborting that baby, but yet they'll put their daughters on birth control and let them use rubbers. And I'm against when the church says when a young girl's raped, she has to have that baby and live with it. No, I'm not gonna let a 10-year-old carry a baby and have those paternal instinct that baby and lose it. You know what I mean? No. I mean, lose it for adoption or whatever. Or if she decides to keep it, I'd look at her rapist's face. That's true. That's not women's rights. When a woman, especially a child, is violated, any reminder of that rapist ought to go away. The baby, and they can do it still by with abortion pills early on, if it's reported, or they can have the morning after pill. They can do it early stage so the baby don't feel any pain. But I'm against late stage abortion at all costs. If it has happened and the fetus is almost is developed at a certain point and where it's late term, no way. She can get away with adoption. I cut off forced late term abortion. Absolutely in no circumstances are they going to have a late term abortion in my book. Because the baby feels itself being ripped apart. But if they catch it with a clump of cells with a magic pill and it just comes out like a period, yeah, that'd be perfect. And they have some type of special where a girl can go and push a number and it actually is a rape and then evaluate, make sure she's telling the truth. Where if a young girl's been violated, they have a special emergency number she can dial. Or push somewhere, like little safe places she go to, like all businesses in the state of Indiana can take in minors that have been violated, or any woman who has been abused or violated. That place is a safe place till the police can arrive and do it. They did that in the 90s. They had a safe place. A lot of gas stations were safe places, and those safe places were for kids who were being beaten or abused. And instead of running away from home, they could run to these safe places where they could go with a different family member and all that and have the person abusing them prosecuted. And they did away with that for some reason. But those old ads on TV, and that was a safe place, not for people who couldn't stand a precedent, but for actual victims of abuse. That was why, that was our safe places in the 90s, for people that were actually needing safety, not people that were feeling their safety's violated because someone wouldn't call them by their pronouns. Actual life or bodily threat of death or bodily injury or emotional injury. But they would like to come around. They took good care of me, and I think Tyler's contacting me and he's a place fresh or whatever, but he's not my type. And I mean, he's cute and all kind of, but not my type. And I think the way he wasn't really pursuing a job when he was active, sexually active, this girlfriend was real, and he was able-bodied to work, and he was actively looking for a job all the time. Really burned a hot spot with me, where I was left making sure they had food, and that was his responsibility as the male to make sure they had food. He did some good stuff, but since he was dating a disabled gal, he had responsibility like getting a job. And if they were doing stuff where a pregnancy could possibly happen, he should have had that job and saved up money to pay for if he got her pregnant. You know, you make the baby, you care for it. It's not just an inconvenience you can toss. And now, as far as society, that's why I hope Leo's holy. I think I'll become holier as the church gets holier, because it says where the church goes, the world goes. The Catholic Church. And I want to be holier. I don't want to be this ranting and raving, immoral person that makes you feel filthy inside, Joey. But every time if I get Eucharist, confession of Eucharist, I feel different. It's the best high. I don't have anxiety attacks. I don't feel the devil attacking me if I have readily access to confession and Eucharist. No, it's just that I lost my Medicaid, and that's why they don't come around, because that company had to quit, letting have Medicaid for that 3 months, remember? And then they had the Medicaid reenacted, and I got with a different agency, that's why I don't come around no more. I took good care of them. The Catholic Church talks about charity. I have full allegiance to Rome, but I do little things for pocket money. I'm gonna tell the priest. We all have our time we need to empty our glands. And you're a young adult, and you're gonna have a high volume of still a lot of hormones and a lot of testosterone buildup, so that's why I don't blame you for doing the deeds often. You know, me, I may do it once or twice a week, but I want to put that on OnlyFans for people that's paid to see it. You, it's something to keep you from getting blue ball, which is bruising the testicles, which is unhealthy for you. Which it's healthy for you to have a release at least once a day at 18. It's healthy because that's the skin build up in your testicular glands and cause bruising if you don't. And it's natural for 18-year-old males to love beautiful females. Teenage boys always love beautiful females. Ever since the beginning of time, you're going through your height of hormones. So if you're gonna look at women on the internet, there's nothing wrong with that in my view. You're just doing with something that comes natural with being a young adult. A very young adult. They all crazy about titties and pussy, and trust me, it ain't what it seems to be. Might as well, you know. It ain't all it adds up to be being. Take it from someone that was promiscuous. It's a hole you can never fill. Take it from someone that used to have a porn addiction. It's a hole you can't fill. And eventually, after time, you get to more and more extreme porn, Joey. So try just using visions of females you know from around town and not watch the porn. Because if you continue with the porn, certain porn that you normally watch won't get you off, and you'll go more and more extreme. So that's why you really shouldn't watch porn, because if you build an addiction, certain stuff for a while, then it won't get you off anymore. Then you gotta go more and more extreme. So that's a warning against porn addiction. And it's a poison for when you have a future marriage someday. There's plenty of other ways to have a release besides watching porn. I know. But I need it just to build up. I ought to just like, if you set yourself a set time in the middle of the night when your parents are asleep, set the volume low on it, and just have your release and it don't go back. That's your weekly release. And set it for once or twice a week where it's comfortable for you. Right. But it was an addiction for me that I'm getting over with, and I only use it when I do my OnlyFans videos. It's hard to get up and do my health. And I limit myself to one release a week. And now I put it on OnlyFans. Because a lot of my paid subscription people wanted to see it. And that's it. I mostly do rants on there. And just talk and smoke a cigarette and talk on OnlyFans. But once a week, or I'll smoke and do something makes my eyes roll in the back of my head. But that's for my viewers that pay to see that stuff. But I want to do rants mostly on there. Just rants where I talk about stuff like this. But you guys can still subscribe, watch a rant, and I can make pocket change. To buy more groceries, pay bills, to have Amazon unboxings, whatever. Then maybe you could just watch my other videos out of curiosity. I'm morbid curiosity. Even straight guys like you have morbid curiosity. It comes with the human part. I know a lot of straight guys that just watch gay porn and have a morbid curiosity. Don't turn them on. It just is a morbid curiosity. Scat porn to me is just a morbid curiosity. I laugh at it. You know, kind of like toilet humor. That's why I look at it. It's just toilet humor. I'm sitting there laughing my ass off at those fools and what idiots are making out of themselves. And that's why I watch it, is because he's got morbid curiosity to watch a bunch of sick, deranged deviants make lunatics out of themselves. I'm laughing like toilet humor the whole time. Don't turn me on. It's this toilet humor. You know what I mean? It's just like some idiots to laugh at. Like when I need a laughing stock to laugh at, I'll watch scat porn. Because how can anyone do that shit? I know. Me, I don't collect it. I just go to sites, watch it, laugh at the Germans or whoever's doing it. Out toilet humor. You know, there's a difference between toilet humor and getting off something. Toilet humor is when you're laughing at something so ridiculous and gross. You know what I mean? That's why I watch it. And laugh at dirty, sick, poor guys that like to eat human fecal matter, and I laugh at them as fucking idiots and clowns. You know, they're just the sideshow freak at some clown show to me. You know what I mean? They're the circus side freak to me. And that's why I watch it, 'cause to me, the scat porn stars are circus freaks. Right, and that's why people pissing or shitting all each other are circus freaks to me. I go there and get a show of a bunch of circus freaks. I'm laughing the whole time at the shit and at them and not getting turned on. I'm laughing at a circus show of a bunch of mentally deranged people that are just plain all sick in the head for whatever purposes. I'm laughing at a sideshow, a circus sideshow. Or fart porn. I do it because Flexbur's into it. I'm not into it. I think it's gross. I think anyone that wants to sniff farts is odd, but I'll still do it because it's their thing. I know, I do the fart stuff for Flexburger, and I fart because it's humorous. You know, but I don't do it because it turns me on. I do it because there's people who find it humorous. You know what I mean? We're a bunch of men out here. What do men do in the pickup truck when they've been drinking? They fart. He has certain tastes, but at least he pays me for it, takes care of me. You gotta admit, I wouldn't have an Xbox if it weren't for him. He does pay for it, you know what I mean? Flexburg takes good care of me. So I don't mind farting or whatever for him. If that's his thing, that's his thing. He takes good care of me, you know what I mean? At least he takes good care of me as my nigga daddy. I call my nigga daddy, he takes good care of me. He sent me $800. He'll send me money all the time. I'm gonna fart whenever just in case he's on here. I'm gonna fart. If someone's taking good care of me, I'm gonna go out of the way for him. Well, I call it in my mind. It's men being men, like you know, like the hells are say good one. Well, we're older masculine men. When older masculine men are out on the fishing boat, they'll cut a fart after eating a bunch of food or out on a barbecue. We'll sit and burp and fart in front of the women. If the women have us pissed off, we'll sit there amongst the men and have fart competitions. It's something that you'll see when you get older. Us older men, well, once we sit there, we rate each other's farts as the most, it's something that in redneck culture, it's not sexual, it's just a masculine thing to burp and fart. That means the women did a good job cooking the food. Or you just had some good food. It's like a male instinct that you just had a good meal. Or taking a good shit means you had some good food. It's nothing sexual. You know, I talk about my shitting habits. It means I'm having a damn good meal. That's why, in a way, I don't care if that Protestant lady talks bad about my religion because she cooks me damn good meals. And I'm going to sit there and take good shit and fart afterwards. And that means the woman did a good job cooking the meal. It's probably part of a male hierarchy, you know? To sit there and burp and fart after having a good meal. It's a mark that your wife did a good job. That you just had a really good meal. And you would learn that if you probably weren't in a high income household. Us low income men, after we have a good thing, a good meal, it's a masculinity trait to burp and fart. Or when we're doing our small things around the campfire, we'll eat a can of beans because that's all we can afford to cook over a fire sometimes when we're out camping when we're young. Then we'll fart. You know, when we were young, we didn't have much money, so we just built a fire, open up a can of beans, take the paper wrapping off of it, get a hot pad, and pour a little bit in each on a bowl, small little bowl. And we just put the whole can of beans on the campfire. We would do that I would do that all the time. I didn't have much money. I'd go to Save a Lot, buy a can of beans for 39 cents, build a little campfire, and have a can of beans and instant coffee and a coffee kettle. And that's what I'd have over a campfire. For like less than $3, I can have a good meal over a campfire. Mom would let me use her bourbon to put my beans. And I'd take the whole bottle of bourbon. She knew I'd drink on it that night, but she knew how to keep me warm. And still in summer, it gets a little chilly. You get that dew in the air falling, it gets a little chilly. So it's not cold, but it gets chilly. It's a weird thing here in Indiana. It's not cold, it'd be in the 70s, but it can be chilly at night. You know. And she knew I was taking gulps of whiskey. But back then, if a kid was drinking, as long as it's on private property, there's nothing the law could do about it. I haven't touched my alcohol since last weekend. Oh, when last time C Company's here, I took some, watered it down. But no, I just find it as a masculinity trait, so it turns him on. So what? He takes good care of me. I guess it wasn't the type of masculinity you grew up with. I think with, well, your family being bed professionals, I noticed with the wealthy class that stuff is a bit weird to them. Kind of like smoking or stuff like that. I notice the upper class don't smoke much or anything. But us poor people, we love our cigarettes, we love our coffee. I mean, that's why I'm so ticked off. They're taxing the poor, this new tax. The rich people all smoke, all could afford it, and we can't afford it, that's all we do. And they're not like taxing luxury cars, they're not putting a tariff on a Mercedes Benzes all these rich people are buying, or they're not doing a luxury car tax on license plate. I think they ought to tax luxury cars on license plates. Or tax the insurance on, because you can get the hotshot son that's driving 100 mile an hour in his dad's Porsche and takes out an entire family and gets let off. Well, that money could go towards a better healthcare system to take care of the injured. that he injures and gets off the hook, don't have to pay a dime because he gets a damn good lawyer. So if the government stuck the bill anyway, tax that little brat seat BMW. You still there, Joey? I just need to talk. You still in here, Joey? I made $22 so far on OnlyFans. That's just change. I could buy a little bit of things like wine juice, goat cheese, or I'm gonna let so it carries over. I won't cash out until the first of next month. You still in there? Oh man, Joey must have got distracted and fell asleep. Okay. I understand. I gotta do something for OnlyFans anyway. Alright. Can you hug me real quick by giving me a heart emoji? I'll give you a hug virtually. You give me a heart emoji. How's that? Just give me a hug as a good friend. Give me a smile or heart emoji. That means we're hugging as good friends. Good night. A virtual hug. Oh, good night, Joey. Your best friend. I will see you tomorrow. A virtual hug.